Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? I know y'all like, what the hell? This is the third time today. Yes, it is. I am getting ready to do Taurus and Sagittarius, sitting in a tree, Kissing. I have already shuffled and cut the cards. Messages so far, and this is the third time I've seen this today. As I was shuffling the granny cards. Ignore the haters. So Taurus, I'm pretty sure that's a message for you now because it's the third time. Somebody is hating on y'all. And it may not be anybody personal, as a family member, a so-called friend, that whole little category. This may just be somebody that you work with that doesn't like you, or somebody that you have some kind of dealings with, if it's business, vendor, something, and they are just trying to salt your shit right the hell down. But be mindful, that is Mercury retrograde. So much of what has gone on this Mercury retrograde, and especially in terms of people's negative behavior, is going to backfire. So if you've been dealing with situations where there have been people just throwing shade either on you professionally or you in your relationship, all that's getting ready to come to a very sad and sudden stop. Tomorrow, the 12th, Mercury stations direct. As far as Taurus and Sagittarius are concerned, it feels like y'all have mended whatever little snafu y'all have had, but it's still kind of delicate going. This is still kind of, I ain't forgot about 2 weeks ago, that kind of energy. So it's still kind of tight, but it's better than it was. Whatever conversations have been held between the two of you, it looks like y'all are trying to adhere to whatever agreements you've come to during this Mercury retrograde. That's a good thing. So let's see what the cards got to say. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So overall energy with the big cards: triumph and success and sacrifice from the bottom of the deck. Well, I'll be damned. Recent past, rebirth. Who knew? Forgiveness, I'll be doggone. Who knew? Material harvest. Current energy. Power. That's a stabilizing card. Partnerships and alliances lands in your centerpiece and challenge spot. And at the end of current energy, intuition. Future energy. Heartache and loss, not what you're thinking, disruption, and shadow. All right, I know y'all like, what you just said, we just got, and you did. So just hold on, let's get the full picture. Your overall energy right now, Taurus, with your Sagittarius, is this. You have come out of, like I said, whatever little snafus y'all were having, little fuck-ups, petty arguments, whatever. You've come out of that energy. And there's a sense of renewal there. That's on the top end. On the bottom, it's a sacrifice. And sacrifices you've had to make just in the recent past just to keep things going. That's also as it relates to you financially as a couple. Maybe giving up certain things because money is tight, jobs have changed, that whole thing. It's there. But I can see the forgiveness here. When we get past the current energy, the heartache and loss, it doesn't have anything to do with the two of you, but it has everything to do with how the two of you are living. So hold that thought. The disruption, and I always say this card is about how other people's shit affects your shit. That brings right back there. And shadow, dealing with your fears as a couple. So let's see what the little emotional cards got to say about the whole thing from the bottom of the deck. Triumph and success pulls the King of Coins, Taurus, that's you. Sacrifice pulls the Ace of Swords. If I didn't say it already, a reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. And thank you for everybody for sharing, and subscribing. I don't know why I remember that right in that spot, but I always do. But thank you. I love you guys. If you have not done so, please feel free to share, and subscribe. All the information down below. Sorry. Okay, anyway. Ace of Swords on top of the sacrifice. Communicating. And a lot of this was retro communication. Things that have gone on in the past. This is kind of still you, Taurus. This is kind of what's in your gut, kind of mulling those conversations around, remembering what you had before you got into the relationship, what you had when you first got into the relationship, and what you have now. And kind of communicating that at a different level, not necessarily verbally, but just trying to show your Sagittarius where you are in the process. Rebirth pulls the Princess of Swords, forgiveness, pulls the Nine of Coins, material harvest, pulls the Four of Coins, current energy, power, pulls the High Priestess, second time today. Shuffle the hell out of these cards too. But okay, hold that thought. Partnerships and alliances, pulls the Magician, intuition, pulls the King of Coin, heartache and loss, pulls the Eight of Wands, disruption, pulls the Two of Cups, shadow, Seven of Coin. So, maybe if I cut my air on. Alrighty. So, your overall energy, the King of Coin, triumphant success. Taurus, you feeling that abundance and that stability. It's not necessarily have anything to do with finances, but when you know all is right in the world between you and your mate, your Sagittarius, you know everything is everything. And it's like that. You feel like that. So on some level, there's just almost a sigh of relief. On another level, you still can kind of feel what's coming up and got a sense of anxiety about all of that. And so here you are. You know, you are, like I said, not necessarily in a verbal sense, communicating the sacrifices that are going on to your partner. Just showing them, maybe not even saying, you know, this is what we're giving up, but showing them, you know, this is, we can't go out to dinner because of whatever, money, pandemic, whatever it is, but showing and communicating that sacrifice. Like I said, it's not necessarily on a verbal level. So you may be just kind of in synchronicity right now with each other. And that happens a lot of times. You get on the verge of breaking up and you come back together and things just kind of click. That's not unusual, and that's a good thing. So from your recent past, rebirth, a lot of bullshit went on. A lot of bullshit, a lot of words, a lot of arguments, a lot of shit went on. But all of that caused the relationship to have a rebirth. From there to this forgiveness, looking at the standards that both of you had or have, you did look past tense. And for some of you, you may still be looking at the standards you have for each other and for your relationship, but that's colored with a tinge of forgiveness. Sometimes you just have to let shit go. And this wasn't necessarily a third party situation. This feels more like it was just petty shit. Money, kids, jobs, you know, cars, shit that gets in the way of a relationship. And so it took you to the brink. I don't feel like there was a complete severance between the two of you, but it does feel like there was a split at some point. And so you had all this, and probably still got some of this going on. You know, you need to forgive, and forgiveness goes across the board. Sag probably needs to forgive Taurus for some shit. Taurus definitely needs to forgive Sag for some shit. So with that said, and then you need to forgive yourself. Because sometimes we say things that we don't mean to say them. And we may apologize to the person, but we don't always apologize to ourselves. I know that sounds strange because we don't do it. But you should. Healing is healing. And if saying something to somebody ripped you up, you know, hey, you need to tell you sorry. Simple. But looking at that higher standard and what you've done and what you're trying to do to maintain that higher standard. Coming out of that recent past, still moving ahead, but kind of guarded, and not just emotionally, and this is more for Taurus, sitting up here on top, not just financially and not just emotionally, but almost just kind of guarded about everything. Like you didn't want to lose whatever balance you regained after you guys got back together. So just kind of on guard all the way around. Current energy. It's the manipulation and power. And that might be where some of any residual tension may lie right now. This is a major card. It's the first major card we encounter on the board of 2. So there may be some stuff, and I'm going to say this to Taurus. I know Taurus is going to be like, how dare you? But mind your motives. And Sagittarius, damn it, if you cross watching, mind your motives too. Mind your motives. And that's major energy. Mind your motives. Why are you doing things? If you're doing it just to stay in power, and every relationship has a power dynamic, that is fluid. It changes, and shit in this environment probably changing from day to day. But it changes. One person got the upper hand, the other doesn't. One may be working, the other one got fired, laid off, furloughed, whatever. So that shifts the power dynamic, and it puts pressure and stress on a relationship, which may be where some of this break came from, and there may still be some of that there. This, though, is a note to be mindful of your motives, because if you're getting and staying in a relationship for the wrong reasons, just a little heads up. If you're in it for the wrong reasons, it's not going to work. But your challenge here is to know that you have a solid partnership and alliance with your Sagittarius, Taurus. That's for you. And that you have everything that you need to make it happen. So if this is you with the motive part, just know next major card is telling you what the hell. You have this. You have this. Right back to the number one position from 2 to 1. So don't be trying to slide into this, because you already have the resources. Everything that you need to make the relationship happen on a good level. You don't need to have any fucked up motivation about why you're doing something. You should just take the relationship as it is and understand it's not just a relationship. It is a solid partnership and alliance. Just saying. When you get to the end of the current, it's about following your intuition from that point, and following your intuition about what you should do as a couple, because you know the rough times is on their way. Soon as y'all get back together, here comes some more bullshit. And this is definitely going to have to do with the inventory. Inventory is everything material, cars, houses, apartments, whatever. One or the other of you may encounter some type of loss, and this kind of can run the gamut from a family member to a job. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's kind of where that goes. I can't hide that part. People transitioning in and out of your life can cause quite a bit of heartache and loss. However, this particular thing is going to be for a lot of fast communication. If it's job loss, this is going to be real quick. You know, as soon as you get to work, they're going to be talking about you need to go. However this is resonating, could be you, could be your partner, or could be someone close to you who has some type of impact on your finances. Which brings us here. Disruption. Somebody else's stuff is disrupting what you got going on. And it could have an effect on your relationship. I'm just saying. So this is very much indicative to me to make sure that the lines of communication, Taurus, between you and your Sagittarius are wide open. Whatever this is, it feels like it's on the Sagittarius side, the fire sign, fire, and fire. So you may need to be a bit more supportive, Taurus. It's going to cause some disruption. You got this, but you're going to have to keep your emotional lines of communication open. And I know sometimes that's not always easy for Taurus, because Taurus is like, fuck it. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to chill, and I'm going to just let this shit go where it go. Yeah, you can't do that this time. You're going to have to talk. And you may have to express how you really feel about some things in order to just keep going in the relationship. At the end of all of that, it's about facing your fears and looking at what can be nurtured and what you can achieve from where you are. It may be a thing about jobs, literally, the loss of. And you having to get together in your head, where are we? Where are our resources? What do we have? What can we fall back on? Again, this is a fragile energy. It currently feels like the two of you are trying to get in your groove. You're trying to find that sweet spot. Hurry up and find it, so when whatever else is coming up, you can deal with it without a whole lot of anxiety. Gonna be some changes. So now you know it's gonna be some changes. So there's some changes. So with some changes, you know they're coming. Get ready to roll with them. Easier to roll with them than it is to try and fight and struggle through it. So if it's time for something new and you end up losing your job, let that be the universe's voice to you that it is time to do something else. A lot of times we can't see things like that because we are caught right up in the moment. Don't let it catch you off guard. Do what you need to do to move ahead. Take a break, a long one. I'm going to say, after all of this y'all going through, you probably need to take a break. The two of you need to think about how you can take a break together. And it needs to be, and if you can't literally go anywhere, you can only take time off. It would be for me shutting off the cell phones and just trying to get back and get grounded, get back to nature. For those of you that may not actually be back on solid ground yet, you may also decide to take a long break. Let me put that in there too, because I hear that as well. So if you're not fully here yet, and you're still up here dealing with whatever emotional fallout, you may want to go ahead and take a long break. Just take a break until y'all can figure out what to do. This though feels like for a lot of you, you've gone through that, and the two of you need to take a long break together. Don't even waste your time. And where would I put that? Right there. Getting ready to get upset, pissed off, and some other shit about some other shit going on with somebody else. Even though it directly affected you, don't waste your time arguing, complaining. Just go with the flow. Like I said, sometimes instead of struggling, it's just easier to just go with it. So don't even waste your time trying to argue with folks about what's going on or what needs to happen or what you think. No, don't do it. Just move on. Go with the energy. Trust the universe. If it looks like a duck. So those of you that are in Taurus Sagittarius situations, and I don't know, you're going through whatever, there may be a point where there may be right now some manipulation. There might not be you, Taurus. Don't come right back here to this. If it looks like a duck, take it for what it's worth. I'm going to pull the rebel cards just in case I missed something. I don't think I did. Everybody's not at the same place. So eat the fish, leave the bones. But some of you may not, like I said, you may not be in the current energy. You may still be up here at the forgiveness stage. So it feels like, though, a lot of you are past that, but it's still fragile. And it don't look like it's going to take much to make this little house of glass fall right down. Now, if you make it through the end of July, I would say you probably are good to go. Because you will have worked through whatever retrograde, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde energy that you're going to work through. Let's see what this says. Get over yourself. Pull your shit together. Help people, give back. Do good shit for humanity. This can also serve as you need to pull your focus off of whatever's going on between you and your partner and put your focus on helping someone else. A lot of times removing your focus off of one thing onto another helps that thing sort itself out. So just know that part. A lot of times we don't get the abundance that we think we ought to get in relationships because we're not giving enough back. I know that sounds crazy, but that is how the cycle works. So in order to get, you've got to be given somewhere. You can't just have your hand out the whole time. Universe don't play that. One more card, universe, one more card. Fuck. Shit is about to get real. Fuck. You need your people around you. So something is coming. Taurus and Sag. Again, I don't know, but posse up. And I do not like these foreboding type readings where everybody's sitting on the edge of their chair and just all worried and knocked the fuck out on some shit. Don't go for that. Don't fall for that. If you know or you feel intuitively like shit's getting ready to hit the fan at some point. And Taurus is going through it right now. So let me just throw that shit out there. A lot of Tauruses, me included. Changes at work, changes on the personnel front, new people, old people coming back in new spots, that kind of shit. Just know, you're probably feeling it in your gut, just know, buckle up. But there's no reason to fret or to have any kind of Nine of Swords up all night type shit going on. No, Eight of Swords, whatever that is. There's no reason for that. You need your rest. So don't try to be up all night trying to figure out what's coming down the pike. This is just about relationships and where people are placed in your life currently. Just saying, that's what's going on right now. So get your posse. Some of you may need to just be on the phone talking to folk. Did I pull 3 of those? No, I did not. I only pulled 2. Yeah, I thought I pulled 3. Well, let me pull 1 more. What the heck? But some of you need to just get on the phone with your posse, even if it's just to vent. Do it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Okay. You're hot, smart, and got a great ass. Your person is lucky. Remind them. There's that communication shit up there. You may need to remind your Sagittarius. You the bomb. Ain't finding nothing like this out there. Might have to have that conversation every once in a while. Y'all know. Anyway, Taurus and Sagittarius, be easy with each other. Be easy with yourself. Breathe in the midst of all of this. Find something to laugh about. Nothing is ever as bad as it seems. Take your time. Work through your issues. Relationships are worth saving. I love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.